Okay, maybe in 3 minutes and 52 seconds we actually will get into game.
I've just seen a name drop out of UNL Team Blue voice chat. Okay, never mind. He's back. We're fine. We're safe.
Ah.
He's back. It's all good.
Okay, we're successfully into game, and you're gonna need to rearrange the scoreboard.
Thank you.
Don't worry about it. There we are. Okay. So, level 1 shenanigans. Yes, no, what do we think?
Well, I'm gonna say yes, judging by red side pathing here. Looking like they're going for an engage
Might be an
bot.
idea to turn off chat.
Sure, why not? I'm sure these guys are fine enough with chat on.
I casted for ear and roar
yeah.
a while. I casted for ear and roar a while ago. Oh, damn it! Someone having to flash away from the dark binding, and that is an Ashe without flash against a Zac. I was trying to think of another Ashe word to put on the end of that, but I was unsuccessful.
Ashe without flash gonna get blasted in the ass. Or what?
That was horrific.
Don't call me Dr. Seuss, bro, but you know
that was unbearable. Anyway, we'll move on and we'll save you the trouble. What do we have? Do we have anything interesting? No. In short. What do you think?
We have Yuna standing on a ward. And he's gone.
I don't know what I'm looking at, man. Honestly. But, however, Moist Swan and not Fev, it's Momo Devaluke. They're starting on the Believix top side, excuse me. No, that is Believix starting on no, okay, no,
You
I'm
were right the
mixed up
first
here.
time. You
I
had
was
it
right
right
the first time. Okay, I had it right the first time. My brain is so fried.
That's what Margarita Pizza does to a man.
I actually haven't had any yet, so you're wrong. I just accepted it kindly. But no, we don't have anything interesting. But I was going to ask you, what do you think of First Strike versus Dark Harvest on Karthus in the jungle?
I think First Strike is really good if you're making a YouTube video on a Smurf account. Otherwise, just stick to Dark Harvest. It's just far more consistent.
Okay. A level 2 mini all-in from Feb. Jennifer were down to half HP, cancels the last auto, and they actually ended up going even.
Yeah.
No Sims used or anything.
Feb took a fair bit of minion damage there as well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
With him.
It's not quite yet at this point in the game that Triss is allowed to just fight you in minions completely in your advantage and just win anyway. She needs a couple more levels for that. Then she can start doing whatever she wants. But I think, to be honest, most of these matchups, except for mid lane, are going to be kind of, you know, maybe some action top, but I think bot lane in particular will be kind of just, like maybe someone just gets caught out by a Morg Dark Binding or a potential like Enchanted Crystal Arrow or something like that. I don't know, but
yeah. Unless Believix bot lane grief, I don't see MHP finding many advantages without jungle intervention.
I'm going to have to cut you off because Moist Swan is coming in for Gank on top lane. He does catch him with the long arms and it's first blood for Jinna that came out of nowhere. That is a huge wave as well. Getting crushed into his
Outlaw is he's in bits now.
Excuse me. I'm so ill, dude. It's a absolute shambles. Honestly, I can't even speak without feeling like I want to cough all the time. But first blood for Jinna on this GP.
Yeah, thankfully the Sejuani here does have the teleport, so not losing out too much minion wise.
I mean, if she didn't have TP and she went Flash Ignite there, she might have survived. So, but still, I don't know how I feel about about TP Ignite on Sejuani. I mean, it has to be good because like every Sejuani takes it, but
yeah, well, I mean, Sejuani Q is like, I think it might even be longer range than Flash, and it's like a 5-6 second cooldown or something. So
that low, really?
I could be talking out of my ass.
But both Ignites coming out from mid here, and I think Triss is going to be the one to fall. It is a solo kill for Jenna Proudmore. And another huge trade coming from Moment of Luke in top lane. Simply not caring that he's that he's behind. This was a terrible idea. I cannot speak. Honestly. You have to bear with me. But I think these grass procs, even for both top laners, to be honest, are really gonna start stacking up over time, considering they're both effectively melees. Well, GP's effectively ranged, but you get the point. But an all-in coming out from a lane gank from Duke of Jamming, and Davis is the first to fall. I do think Garg just about gets out. But huge advantages all over the map for Believix already, who, based on standings, I think were definitely not the favorites going into this one. Oh, the GP damage is already just
GP was also very low. I'm sure Outlaw would absolutely love to have got the kill on him there, but just not quite enough damage.
And another gank from Duke of Jamming, and Feb is going to not fall. The Spirit Rush is enough to get away just about, but Moist Swan is coming in for the counter gank. I don't think any other kills will come out of this. The Dark Harvest proc onto Jenna Proudmore. He does get charmed in the process. Flashes straight into him, and Jenna Proudmore flashes away, and Moist Swan is going to fall along with Jenna Proudmore. And it's a 1-for-1 in mid, but Duke of Jamming also probably going to push in the wave himself, so I think it's probably
he should push
worth enough.
The nice part there, they did manage to blow the Ari flash.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Ari without Spirit Rush or without Flash, definitely, completely different champion to when she has those two things up. So
yeah, so that while that would usually make Ari easier to come back and gank, it is also a Carfish jungle, not known for the ganking potential. But he did also Justing 6.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know its skills. There isn't really a clear you win late here, Can't really tell. I mean, obviously Caitlyn's so strong early game, but yeah, I mean, obviously Caitlyn's really strong earlier. She does scale really, really well. I'm not sure. We will have to see. But you can see how impressive this Caitlyn is right when you're up against tower. Same with Gangplank in top lane, to be fair. A lot of these lanes are just really, really easy to get prio and do whatever they want, pretty much. I think even still...
Yeah, I think that's a shield bow being built by Ashe this game, looking at the items. So that means that it's gonna be... Definitely. It's gonna be on Tristana's shoulders to deal with this Zac.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like he just takes over the game. Unless Karthus, of course, builds Leandries. Even then, though.
So I imagine Karthus will probably have Leandries and then maybe Shadow Flame after. But
yeah.
Outside of his ult, it's not the most consistent damage, if you will. It's Karthus Q, not the easiest ability to land.
Yeah, I mean, you can see how much Outlaw's struggling against the Sheepy. Obviously, the CS difference doesn't show it, but you can see every time we pan top lane that he's having trouble up there. I'm curious, actually, will it be an Everfrost for Ahri, or will it be like a Loons or something? Because I feel like they have a lot of lockdown already. They don't necessarily need more from the Everfrost, but I think the default for most Ahri players is to just go Everfrost every game at the minute, so...
Yeah, so it's not like they need more lockdown, but I feel like Ahri would like the little safety net of, you've got Tristana and Sejuani jumping on your head. Just drop an Everfrost on him and walk away.
I mean, I think the biggest difference in gold or XP for lanes at the minute is definitely mid lane. I think Jenna Proudmore, once he gets his up, I'm gonna have to stop talking about this because there's a small skirmish breaking out top lane, a 2v2, and two people are going to fall so far. It is Junna and Moist Swan, but that Karthus passive damage is just doing so much, but it's not enough. And Duke of Jamming's gonna get away with his life. Another fight going on in bot lane. Digirox is so weak. And he falls, and Gardevoir's just going to stay alive. One more auto attack from Techno Gremlin, and he doesn't get it. And it's a double kill for Davis in the bot lane. And that is, overall, definitely a lot better for Manhattan Project than it is for Believix. I don't actually know what... I don't know exactly what happened in the top fight. Wait, was it a 2-for-0? Or was it a 1-for-0?
It was a 2-for-0 top side, I
believe. 2-for-0. Oh, okay. No. Okay, I'm completely wrong then. So both teams just getting...
Oh, did Gangplank have a death before?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Yeah, it was a 1 for
Okay,
1 or a 2 for 1.
2 for 1
But
top.
yeah,
Two for
it
one
was
top, 2 for robot. So
yeah, it was But another fight on the Herald. There's so many fights going on this top side. Jenna Predmore is the first to get there, and Moist Swan is going to fall. Duke of Jarring flashing away. He does have that passive ready. It's going to save him. Jenna Predmore, not as lucky, and is going to be his second death of the game. He's still just so far ahead of Feb, though. Look at that. Wow. 2 long swords at 10 minutes. That is rough. If you press X, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he's got a lot of gold then. He has a lot of gold. He's still so far behind, but he has a lot, just sitting there.
wonder if it would have been
1.1k.
good for the Sejuani to leave that kill for Tristana here.
Yeah, potentially. I really don't like Morgana as a support, to be honest, but another gank into top. Duke of Jamming is just, he's here and he's mid. It feels like every 2 or 3 seconds I'm constantly calling out his name. I think, I don't know what to look for here, to be honest. Zach is going for the Sunfire Aegis over Frostfire Gauntlet, which I mean, I could maybe see an angle for Frostfire, but I think your goal here is probably just to kill Ashe, right? As quickly as you can. Although it will be really, really hard late game with Lulu.
So I think Ashe has changed their mind about getting a shield bow here. Looks like they're going
I
for...
don't know what the longsword is for. Yeah, maybe he was going to go shield bow and then he said no.
Maybe the longsword was just an accidental buy, or just buying for the future, Walked out of base, still had 350 gold, I'll just buy a longsword.
Or maybe he was just getting ready for melee fights and he said a bow won't do in short range. But Jenna may be looking for something in mid. Duke of Jamming is here too, and I think Feb managed... That was 4 people mid. Definitely very lucky to get away with only his flash use, didn't die or anything. But I mean, that's another Feb being pushed even further behind. It's really going to struggle to do anything late game, but Momo definitely did manage to get a plate while the GP was gone. Jenna already has the Essence Reaper. I love GP passive.
I don't think they have to peel off the dragon here though, right? Like, they have full pro mid, their bot lane was already there.
I mean, they are trying to clear... They're getting vision cleared. They're not the ones trying to clear it themselves, but... I think this Zac is really going to be such a monster. Maybe look for something in bot lane. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow is up, and it does come out, and it's going to land onto Techno Gremlin. The Black Shield not coming out quick enough. The Cryptic Chains are coming out, and he's going to last long enough to stun Gardevoir, who is going to fall first. And the GPO comes out as well, and it is an absolute disaster for Manhattan Project. What was that, a 4 for 0 or a 4 for 1? Or 3 for 1, excuse me. It wasn't as bad as I was making it out to be, but still, that is absolute disaster for what looked like a really, really good fight in the beginning. Moist Swan, Davis, and Gardevoir all falling. Really, really well played from Techno Gremlin, I must say. I said Chains of Corruption, by the way. That is LeBlanc E. That is not Morgana ult.
Does it tell me the name of the abilities that will hover over them here? Soul Shackles.
Yes, Soul Shackles, thank you.
There
Should know these, but I haven't casted in a while, so... It is off season. We don't cast anymore. My god, that RA damage with just the charm and 2 autos.
And Zac with a max rank E, the range on that ability is just disgusting. Bro.
Yeah, it's insane. Once you get a few levels into it, you can really... I think it's level 5 where you can get from the rushes like straight into the middle of mid lane. I'm not 100% sure, but regardless, Herald coming out into mid, a lot of progress onto that mid tower.
Am I
which
blind,
I think...
or did that Gangplank just take a death?
I don't actually know. I think we missed something. I don't think he didn't have 2 deaths. Maybe he died while that bot fight was going on. I'm so lost, honestly.
Caster's AFK, Luke Caruana is not. That was a gold rank Sejuani solo killing a master tier Gangplank.
I did that twice last week. Last week.
Yuna Debula having a shocker of a season, being gapped by Cargilly in the bot lane. An absolute shame. He just rolls up to top. He's getting gapped by a different gold player, man. He just can't catch a break.
I mean, I solo killed him last week twice. One of them was under tower, so I'm not counting that one because my Shen game last week was embarrassing. It worked, but it was embarrassing nonetheless. However, I did solo kill him playing Ornn into GP. At this point, yeah, that's what it is really, but another gank into Paul coming out from Momo Demoling all the way from top lane, and Techno Gremlin is going to be the only one to fall. February 14th as well, and Jenna Prime are also having a small fight in mid lane. Neither of them die, but both ignites used. No flashes or anything, but Judgy Rock's getting saved and bailed out by his jungler, but the Sejuani ult is going to come in. It's not going to be enough for him to fall. The cannon barrage is maybe enough. The Caitlyn ult is just going wide. Gardevoir is so low, and he's going to fall, but so will Duke of jamming in turn. Judgy Rock's going to try and come back to clean up the fight, but I don't think he can go anywhere near this, so Sejuani takes no damage. And that is, I think, 2 shutdowns, along with a second kill, excuse me, not a third, for Moist Swan. And Manhattan Project deciding that they actually want to start trying now. They've had enough of losing all over the map, I suppose. But I think Judgy Rocks definitely would have been a lot better to just run from the start, to be honest. I think it's a... When I see my Zac die, I always go in to save the passives too. I think
as soon as he had already been forced out of the fight and it was a 2-on-1 onto that Zac, he should have just committed to leaving, man.
Yeah.
Because by showing, as you can see, like the Karthus is going to see he's a low health bar and just press R. And that's just 300 gold for free, man.
As well, this Karthus does look like he actually is going to be a problem after all. Obviously, every Karthus will be a problem once they scale, but the 6 KP in after 16 minutes is definitely going to accelerate that a lot. But a potential looking for this Herald. Techno Gremlin is caught alone in the pit, and it is so sad. But he does get out, only using his flash. He Chanted Crystal Arrow, just getting away from it. But they are going to go into contest, and it's stolen by Duke of Jamming, and he is probably going to fall immediately in return. But I was going to say not before my Swan. There's so many people dying. I don't know what's going on. The Cannon Barrage doing so much damage, and Manhattan Project are dead, all 5 of them. It is an ace for Believix. And I don't think you could have asked for more from that fight. After your Morgana gets caught out, your jungler goes in and decides that's his Drake, not yours.
That's a Rift Herald, not a Drake.
A Rift Herald.
So they get to steal the Rift Herald and then ace the enemy team, and all it costs them is the support's life. That's fine. Nothing of value was lost.
Nothing of value was lost. Precisely. Although one thing I am a little bit concerned about is this Sejuani late game. Who kills the Sejuani here with your Caitlyn going Collector? Because I imagine GP's next item will probably be Collector too, because GP's AFK to Collector.
Yeah, I feel like GP can probably
everyone.
go for an LDR here rather than a Collector.
Yeah, I would rather an LDR.
Morgana's also opted for the Leandries, so that will do some
I hate Leandry's Morgana.
Some max health damage.
I hate it so much. I hate Leandry's Morgana.
I imagine Ahri will probably be picking up a Void Staff eventually as well. And obviously, now, GP barrels do ignore armor.
One thing I am curious for your opinion on: Shirelia's on Lulu in this game. What do you think? Yes, no?
Yeah,
would Moonstone be better?
Why not? Moonstone better? I'm not sure. I don't understand support optimization. They just build anything on them.
Out. My god, and Gardevoir is also going to fall. And maybe a third Moist Swan gets caught out as well. Gifting free kills to Believix. I don't think any of those kills are justified at all. The Sejuani does go wide. And he is going to fall as well. And they're just handing gold to Believix. I don't think they have enough to end yet. Maybe no, they don't. They're gonna back off, but really just handing what was that, 4 deaths, like over 1k gold for nothing, really.
Sometimes you just feel like dying, you know. You just take it.
Yeah, I mean it happens. I think it happens. It's not to worry. The thing is, right? I feel like Shirelia's on the in this game. I think it could be really good for Sejuani and Tristana in particular. But I feel like at the same time, these like I don't think these fights are gonna last like very long generally. So that's another reason Shirelles will be a little bit better than Moonsub. I'm not sure. I just don't like Shirelles as an item. I'm really overly critical of it. I shouldn't be as critical as I am.
I think if you just look at the comp in a vacuum outside of the current scoreline of the game, I think Shirelia's makes sense.
Yeah, I am going to have to cut you off quickly. Never mind, because
fine.
Feb gets out.
He's
he
fine.
is fine.
He has
continue.
ult and W. So
Continue.
they all want to just like run enemy team. Shirelia's
Yeah.
helps you do that. It's like a mini Sivir ult. The other thing I like is so they have the Ashe. Obviously the arrow is super long range, global range, so it lets them like follow up on that easier.
And as we are speaking,
God of War!
Out of the enchanted crystal arrow, and it goes into Duke of Jamming. Gardevoir is going to fall. The flash Q2 from Duke of Jamming. He is doing so much damage on this backline. Caitlyn is autoing away, takes out Gardevoir with the Piltover Peacemaker, and doesn't get a kill return. Davis has to flash away. And every time Manhattan tried to get a foot back in this game, Believix slammed the door on it over and over again. And my god, is this... I think Duke of Jamming is playing out of his mind, I think.
I am in pain
as well. Huh?
I don't know if you saw.
I heard you say,
to...
"Oh no, Gardevoir," but I didn't see what happened.
Did you see the Ari had a 700 gold bounty?
And he took it.
Yes.
Ah, I understand now. But a Red Bull Baron power play for Believix. No contest whatsoever. Jonah Prime are going to look for something on Damas. He's just doing so much damage with such one. He's going to get caught out. And Damas just about manages to survive. A 1-for-0. Unfortunately, the shutdown disappeared for some reason. We don't know what happened to it. But definitely going for... No, it wasn't a blind Q, excuse me. He could see he was there. And Jilla is going to get caught out. Does have to flash away. Judgy Rocks is also being caught out. The Enchanted Crystal Arrow, perfectly timed cleanse, but it's not enough to keep him alive. And Manhattan Project maybe actually getting their foot in the door this time. 2 free picks on 2 really, really good targets. But Duke of Jamming is where the problems are arising. This is the one they can't deal with. He's just too tanky, does too much damage.
I mean, last season this guy got first all-pro team playing engage supports. Moves over to jungle, just picks engage, just does it again, man. It's...
Yeah, I mean, I do quite like Zac, to be honest. I like having Zac on my team. It always feels like a free win when I have a Zac. Now, this Drake is up, and Manhattan Project do not want to let Believix get to that soul point. Just clearing out as much vision as they can. I don't know if they're going to fully look for the fight, excuse me. But Momo Devil Luke is here, and the slingshot is going to come out. Does not land on anyone, but he is going to pull the two of them together, and the cannon barrage is just tickling Gardevoir all the way down. So much zone control. Duke of Jamming goes straight backwards onto February 14th. And the Sejuani does land. Gardevoir is the first to fall. February 14th will be the second. And Believix with 3 kills. And a Drake on top of that. The last charge of the Spirit Rush. Not enough to get another pick. But that is the 3rd Drake and Soul Point for Ocean Soul for Believix. And I don't think there's a way back in now. I can't see a way they get back into this game.
I mean, someone could unplug Yuna's keyboard. They could start playing some Doja Cat next to
I think
Scott.
the way. Oh, okay, yeah. That's the That second one is the kicker, I think. I think that's the one that will lose in the game. My god damn, this is doing so much damage. The Dark Binding along with the Piltover Peacemaker and the Gale Force onto Davis as well. Judgy rocks. A really, really good performance on this Caitlyn as well. I must say, I'm very impressed with this Caitlyn.
Man's picked up 12 kills.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, Duke Jamming taking that top lane tier 2 is just going to be able to slingshot out with no worries whatsoever. Walks up, destroys your buildings, leaves. Refuses to elaborate any further. Oh, okay. This is a stressful game. Especially for Manhattan's Project. I don't think they're really enjoying themselves at all.
Yeah, I mean...
Particularly Feb. I think Feb got 4-manned a couple of times early game.
Oh yeah, they definitely targeted him. He's probably claiming racism on comms right now.
We haven't paused. It is the Fnatic strat is being brought in.
Big pause hack. While MHP are currently 9k down.
Thank you for the picture of your cats. I am so thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Now that we have chat off, I have absolutely no idea why we're paused.
Let's take a look. I think we can probably leave chat on for these teams. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to say anything TOS while Davis is in the game.
Toxic garbage island internet. Where is Juna from?
Yuna is from, I think, a place called Ireland, I think it's called. He's in Finland somewhere.
You could have just said Finland. And that would have been that.
Okay, he's from Finland.
There you go. Oh. Okay. Well, I think game 1 is, for lack of a better word, finished. I don't know what we're looking at next game, though. To be honest, I think. How are Manhattan Project mentals? You know these people better than I do.
I mean, John, Mr. Moist Swan, might see he's a game down. He might just start sprinting it so he can go play Valorant instead. You know, wouldn't surprise me.
I think at this point, if I'm 1-0 down to Believix, I sprint game 2, and I go play Omega Strikers for the night. I think that's the play. Dude, I've played so much Omega Strikers even since we played.
Gardevoir as well. He's probably raring to get back on Omega Strikers. There you go. That's 2 people running it down. Davis is in pain, dealing with these.
Davis just hates League of Legends. I'm convinced.
Outlaw's playing his first game in a month or so. He's played 1. He's losing. He's probably considering it as 1 too many.
Oh my god, that Caitlyn damage.
Yeah, I mean, we have a 3.5 item Caitlyn sitting at, what's that, 75% crit with those 4 items?
Now, was that your screen or was that the screen share?
Oh, that's just the spectator bugging because there was a pause.
I mean, there isn't really anything on the map, and both teams just kind of going to catching and clearing waves pretty much. To be honest, concerning the chat situation, I think as long as you're not playing with Subliminal, you're probably chilling. God, I had to cast my team losing while Subliminal called them mean names in chat. For lack of a better term, mean names.
I think that's the best way to describe it.
Oh, what do you even do here as Manhattan Project? You're just so far behind. These fights are just so oppressive.
You probably try and DDoS unit again. Hopefully this time it will knock his net off for good.
Yeah, I mean you still have the pause Plasmatic hack, so I mean that can also work against you. Duke having to flash away, but the ult does come in, and Juna is just about going to fall, but not before Gardevoir. And on top of that, Deviluke just about getting away on 1 HP. Excuse me, my brain completely went dysfunctional in the middle of that fight. Jennifer were using these last 2 charges of Spirit Rush to try and look for something, but
Manhattan Project clearly thought they had a pick there. It turns out they were the ones being picked. It's that's a collector. Surely Believix can just walk mid and end here, right? I don't think they need to prolong this game any further.
Oh my god, Chichi-Rock's damage is unbelievable. This guy is playing out of his mind on this Caitlyn. My god, and this is, unless by some miracle something happens, going to be game 1 for Believix. The TP in from Jenna just to make sure that it is over. Ace of the Hole comes in, it's not quite enough to take out Feb. Both of them flashing into their spawn. It's an absolute massacre. And game 1 goes to Believix. Now, this is more interesting than I thought it would be. Okay, so we have Maokai versus Darius in the top lane. I can't imagine Maokai gets to play the game very much though. Then you have J4 and Diana as both junglers. Then Galio versus Aurelia mid. I can't imagine that matchup's good for Aurelia at all. But I don't know. Maybe when she gets Bork, she will just dominate like she does with just about every other champion in the game. But like I said, I don't know. I don't really play either of those champions.
I don't know. I'm looking at the MHP draft. It just looks like an ARAM game. You know?
Yeah, pretty much actually. I don't think I could have put that any better. Gardevoir is claiming to have taken Predator. So, I'm interested.
Oh, here he is. He's alright.
We're in. Now, level 1 shenanigans. Yes or no? I think there's no answer for this. There you go. That's what I wanted to hear.
So MHP have drafted Blitzcrank. I would expect nothing less than a level 1.
Oh.
It's just a pause bug, it's fine. It will sort in a moment.
We're going to miss a lot here.
Believix, I think they're probably just going to stack and wait for the play. Although, based on map movements, I'm not sure if MHP are actually going for anything here.
Wow, that is disappointing.
Morgana did not buy any items.
Okay. It's a flying start for Believix. Wow, no level 1.
Is Morgana going to recall and buy a Spell Thieves? Yeah, running out of time to do so, man. Okay, so it looks like Morgana will be going to lane without an item.
Okay, well, let's see how long it takes them to notice. Oh, okay. So, no, nothing in the end, level 1.
Oh, is that Morgana?
She has realized, yeah, she's realized what she's done. Don't worry. There we go. Now, have you seen the Blitzcrank changes?
Where they're turning him into a jungler? At least that's the impression I got after reading the changes, is jungle. Yeah, I feel like he's going to be a very annoying champ to come across, even more so than what he is currently. Because if it's opening up for more roles, then theoretically there's more chance of seeing Blitzcrank, and then Blitzcrank is just going to ruin your day.
I'm really curious to see how Maokai fares in this matchup.
I imagine it's somewhat Darius favoured due to the bleed, right?
Yeah. Oh. The flawless duet. It is going to be hard to hit this Galio with the flawless duet. Because of just the way he plays the game, really, and the E as well. This trade could have gone a lot worse, I think, from what would have Luke. I'm always nervous to trade with a Darius player in top lane, but the hook does come in, and the EQ knockup is going to be flashed away from, does go in with the root, and it is a first blood for Duke of Jamming. And Maokai already set a little bit behind in this matchup. It's going to be so difficult to do anything, especially with that wave crashing in. Does have to TP to catch it now, has no sums, and it's a
Yeah,
death down.
this is the second game in a row now where poor Outlaw has had to use his teleport level 2 just to get back to the lane after being killed by Duke of Jamming.
Yeah.
At least this time, they got Duke of Jamming's flash for it. So
Yeah. I'm
silver
surprised the
linings,
knock-up didn't
copium,
hit there.
copium.
I'm surprised the knock-up didn't hit with the flash. I thought it
Yeah,
would.
yeah. I think he was going for the flag drag flash extend combo, but
Flag drag,
just
that's the word I was looking for.
had the timing just slightly off. Yeah, good old flag and drag.
They got it. Maybe looking for something. The Black Shark does come in, and Digirox is in a lot of trouble here. The Black Shield is not enough, and he's going to fall to Moist Swan. Techno Gremlin does manage to get away with his life, and that is 1-1, and both teams back to even. Really, really well played from Gardevoir. Does have that Hex Flash as well, so it's not like it really... He's not too fussed about that either.
Yeah, he did not need to flash in that exchange at all. But now he gets to Hex Flash. So it was all, he just wanted to use it up to get some value out of his rune.
Yeah, I've actually found myself like wanting to flash for things when I take Hex Slash so that I can get value out of the rune. It's so weird.
Have you ever had an Alistair support that just flashes to over the buff wall before leashing just to have Hex Flash live?
No, but I kind of want to do that. I've actually played like a fair amount of Alistair. And Junna trying to keep this wave under his tower, not quite able to really do anything about it, but Feb does seem to be winning out in this matchup. CS doesn't look like it, but he did have Jenna Promore under his tower for...
He will be a wave of experience ahead after this wave he's currently shoving in, as Jarvan's
and just pop the ghost. He doesn't have the ult available yet, but that's just so much bleed damage. The extra AD from the Noxian Guillotine is enough. Not the Noxian Guillotine, excuse me, but it is enough to keep him alive. The Black Shield just about in time for Techno Gremlin to stay alive there. But with the extra AD that you get from Hemorrhage when you get to 5 stacks, obviously the Q will be healing a lot more, so... One thing I noticed there, though, is that I will wait a second if Gardevoir maybe looks for something good with that Hex Slash that we had just spoken about. Now that he gets getting to use it whenever he wants. But you can also dodge the axe with your root on Maokai, because obviously it makes you untargetable. So that's also something that could make his life a little bit easier. I think one thing I really enjoyed playing with last week against Jonah on Darius was Phase Rush Malphite. I don't know if you watched any of that game.
The Phase Rush Malphite?
Yeah, I was basically immune to all-ins like the entire game. But the Galuil is going to come down. Jenna Paramore going to just about dodge away from the E, but the double knock-up from Duke of Jamming, and they're both going to fall. It is February 14th. It is February 14th, excuse me, and Moist Swan falling to the duo of Duke of Jamming and Jenna Paramore. But Mo Devilic also coming into the mid lane. The hook does land as well in bot lane. He gets away with just the flash. No more kills in mid lane, and action all over the map. But Believix coming out a lot stronger from that exchange. 1k gold lead now at 7 minutes, so a 3-kill lead. The root does come out, and Mo Devil is going to fall! Why is he going for that? I don't understand. He was safe and he was away. There was no need for anything else. He doesn't get anything out of that root. Maybe look for a cheese kill, but you're this far behind already. I think now this is where Jenna Proudmore really becomes a problem on this relay. It's really going to be difficult to deal with.
Yeah, he's got 2 kills. He's got half a balk. I mean, the guy's basically full build already.
Yeah, and as well, one more Deviluke. Not enjoying himself this game at all. The Dark Binding enough to keep Moist One away from the lane, but the hook does land again. And Judgy is going to fall first, but the Moonfall does come out as well. The Cataclysm is enough to return 1 kill.
Josh doing
February
his best
14th.
to avoid making any kind of actual movements in that fight as well.
Doing his best to stand completely still. He is mastered the art
if
of
you stand
standing.
still, there's a chance they don't see you.
He's mastered the art of standing so incredibly still that he becomes invisible to the human eye. And the healing and the hemorrhage has been stacked up, and Deviluke is going to fall for the 4th time in 8 minutes. And it is a disaster for the Manhattan Project top lane. Chana is just so strong now. Tinker Jamming is so strong. Jenna Premor as well. Only thing is, your bot lane is a little bit behind. Moiswan did do quite well to get the cross map on that previous fight, but...
Yeah, there's unfortunately 1,000 gold plus gold leads in both solo lanes.
Yeah. God, this one's really going to be difficult as well. Maybe a quick 2-0 from what I would consider to be the underdogs. I mean, I don't know, you know the rosters better than I do. I don't know how good everyone is, but just based on standings.
Yeah, it's kind of strange to look at the nameplates and call this team underdogs.
Yeah, but on paper...
But given performances throughout the season, I don't think anyone would blame you, you know?
I mean, that's all I have to go off, literally. Orc shoes on Morgana, what do you think?
Sure.
And oh no, Deviluke is going to fall again. The ultimate may be enough to get him out. He is still unsteady and will be able to get a Q reset for Jenna Proudmore. But he is going to actually get out. And he is seen in that brush. Jenna Proudmore not able to back. And oh my god, these hooks are so close.
On the subjects of shoes, it's strange to see Gardevoir here. Hard rush, the apparent Nikes,
and
not leave the
is
lane.
just walking up again. And they're gonna go straight in for the dive. The ghost has been popped. He is tanking. The moonfall doesn't land onto Jenna, but it is going to land onto Jenna Proudmore. That is going to be enough to return 1 kill, but Yuna is just too strong for that to seem even remotely worth Gardevoir. Looking for another hook. The Black Shield is enough to save him. And we talk about the damage of that Blitz hook, by the way.
You want me to check the damage?
No. It just completely annihilated the shield, like, altogether.
Yeah, it's probably a level 1 Black Shield, still, to be fair.
Yeah.
But in fairness, as long as it blocks the hook itself and for you being dragged, then it's done its job.
Yeah.
And Misfortune is not exactly doing a lot of magic damage to you. So... It's
my god, when
rather
Caitlyn
strange to
falls
see
behind,
a
she does not do
lane
damage.
with Caitlyn not being the aggressor.
Yeah, I mean, you can see he's behind, just does so little damage. Just trying to farm and stay strong as long as he can. Definitely looks a lot better for the Believix, or for the Manhattan Project bot lane, excuse me. Excuse me. Look. Another small skirmish breaking out in the mid lane. The Galliol is going to come in, and Jenna Proudmore might find himself in a world of hurt here. Doesn't even need to use the Moonfall, and he is going to fall to Moist Swan. My god, is it difficult to talk when I feel like I need to cough every time. Oh my god, the flash into EQ and the Cataclysm onto Damas, and he is going to fall. The Soul Shackles comes out as well, but it is going to be enough, excuse me, to get Technical Gremlin out with his life. Gardevoir going to just get away. The ace in the hole blocked away. And February 14th is on his way to look for this double kill. Flashes the cross into the taunt, and Technical Gremlin is the first to fall. And Judgy Rocks will be the second. Also, February 14th, Dicker Jammy still looking for a way out with this flag and drag. But he is going to be the last to fall, just unable to get out of here. And that is a huge play for February 14th to get his bot lane somewhat into a better lead, excuse me, not somewhat, than before, but another long extended trade, and my god, are those hemorrhage stacks starting to hurt.
And now we see a gold lead for Manhattan Project.
Aha! I don't know what's going on, honestly. Like, you can probably tell, but...
Kill bounties are a wonderful thing.
He is absolutely zooming. Look at him go. I love that Blitzcrank skin so much, honestly. But the first Rift Herald going to go down to mid, going to get these last two tower plates and the mid tier 1 to open up the map a lot. I think. Yes, it will. The Eye of the Herald, not enough damage to take it out in time, but... That opens up the map a lot now, especially for a mid that really wants to be getting around as much as Galio does. Definitely opens up the map a lot more for Believix, but... Gardevoir making sure that he's not quite leaving his ADC completely by himself. Jennifer, we're looking for an all-in here. He does have the unsteady stacks to get his Q back. Moist Swan going to come in and try and save his mid laner. The Moonfall comes out, but Galio is going to fall. They do return the kill for a 1-for-1. Mo coming in with the root and as well onto the ultimate. The Flag and Drag completely blocked by the ult as well, but the Cataclysm comes in. It's going to be up. No one has fallen yet. Blitzcrank is the first to fall. And Juna is going crazy with the Noxian Guillotine. 3 kills. 4 kills. And my god. Juna running straight from the top lane, deciding he had had enough of the shenanigans in his mid and bot lane, deciding to take matters into his own hands. A quadra kill for the already fed Juna. And now, how do you deal with this? This monster from top lane?
I'm not really sure if you can.
Yeah.
They're gonna need to throw all their CC on Yuna to stop him running through a team fight. But if you do that, how do you then deal with Jarvan and Aurelia diving your backline?
Yeah, I mean, the BLVX top jungle trying to absolutely brute force their way through this best of 3. My god, you can see they are just so scared of that thing. An absolute raid boss from the top lane. Wibbly, I could not have put it any better myself. Well said, bonk, is all you have to say about that. Misfortune actually going for the Kraken Slayer, which is obviously a build that was quite heavily buffed, I think, in the last patch or two. And my god, that hook going just wide. I don't think Technogram would have reacted quickly enough to that either. We're looking for another all-in in the top lane. The Borkas are fully procced along with the Conqueror. And Deviluke is just about getting away with these slows. I don't know how many times he's going to get away with this.
Can we just leave Outlaw alone for 5 minutes?
Yeah, honestly, I was going to say...
Stop this cyberbullying.
But, after that fight, the Force of Nature second for Juna. How do you kill that thing?
I imagine he's going to go for a Death Stance next as well.
Yeah, as well, I was going to say. This is the thing, like I said, I just feel like Manhattan Project, they just don't do that much damage. Like, obviously, the Diana will do, like, some semblance of damage, right? But, like, still, it doesn't feel like enough, you know what I mean? Like, you don't have this crazy, like, AP threat, necessarily. As well, the Galio, obviously, really low damage, more for just for target lockdown. Is going for Sork shoes?
This Diana's going for the tank build as well.
Yeah, so obviously, even if she will be live a lot longer to dish out more damage, it's still a lot less damage, like, flat than before, a lot less burst. Technogram does get caught out, and he's going to fall so quickly. And the Catalyst does come in return, Damas is able to flash away from it. He's going to stay away as long as he can. The bullet time does come out, and it is huge. And both Aurelia and Jarvan are the first two to fall. Juna coming out with the Noxian Guillotine. Finds one. Does have it fully stacked. The Noxian Guillotine into 2 and flashes away. Gets away with his life and a double kill. It's gonna go in for the third, but he doesn't have the stacks anymore. The hemorrhage did run out. Looking for a potential hook over the wall, but he's not gonna find it. And definitely a 2 for 2, but I think quite favored for Manhattan Project in that fight. And I think definitely this misfortune is starting to build up damage.
Oh, yeah,
Really well played from Dab as
any
well to
team
flash out
fight
the
where
Cataclysm.
MF gets to just full channel ultimate, you're
Yeah, that's the thing
usually
with the
in a
Jarvan,
good
because
place there.
it's not just that they're stuck inside the Cataclysm, you're also stuck in there too, unless you have your Flag and Drag up.
Yeah, so if the Jarvan is on anyone other than MF, you have to be concerned about the MF ult just
Well, I
being
mean,
dropped on top.
it was there, that fight. He did actually ult the MF originally, but that was it.
Oh, I see.
Flash out of it,
Yeah,
obviously.
I see that now. The MS flash on cooldown.
But still, obviously, every 5 minutes or so, you have to worry about that as well with the Bloodthirst. So definitely going to help a little bit with the amount of burst coming from
So
Believix.
I am seeing, a sort of a saving grace for Manhattan Project at the very least, and that is in team fights. They do have a big wombo.
And oh, it's just an absolute disaster in the top lane again. Momo Devil Luke. What?
But how
There's no way.
How disgusting
Okay.
is this tree?
How? Yeah, I was going to say, dude. What on earth is
One-
this champion?
1 in 7,
Momo Devil
by
Luke
the way,
does in fact
still gets
have
to
a
live for that
family.
long.
He does in fact have a family. Not that that ever crossed the mind of Believix. Not anymore. Oh god, I love Yana, dude. So he's one of the only high elo league players that I actually quite like.
What did Fancy do wrong, man?
I barely know Fanxy, but he does seem like a very cool person, just judging from like interactions I've seen him have, and my god, does Judgy Rocks just do so little damage. The Soul Shackle's immediately coming out, but the route across all of them, the bullet time and the moonfall on top of the Galley ult, it's just so much damage on so many people. Techno Gremlin is the first to fall after Gardevoir.
That was just being left out to dry here, man.
From the back of everything, just getting to free auto, does get away from the shield of Durand, and he's going to pick up the kill here. And it's going to be an absolute disaster for Manhattan Project as Believix pick up an ace.
Man,
And another free Drake.
that
And
team
I'm going
fight
to hope.
was
Yeah, I'm gonna
a
hope
sad
nobody
sight.
heard what I said at the start. I said Techno Gremlin is the first to fall after Gardevoir. I'm smurfing English today, honestly.
Yeah, no, that team fight was kind of
It was a mess.
bit
It
sad
was
to see.
all over the place.
So Davis used his ult, and then once the ult ran out, his team were like, "That's it. You've served your use. You're dead now. See you later. We're ignoring you."
Trust this guy to notice the ADC hardship.
Look, man. Yeah. ADC is just a survival horror game.
God, I love high ground, low ground. By the way, did you see that that dark binding? I was gonna say cosmic binding. What is cosmic binding? That is an ability, right? Sure.
Bard Q, right?
Yes, you're right. It is an ability. I knew it.
Oh, chat are saying it's a Lux Q.
You sure? It's not like light prison or something.
No,
I thought Lux.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Lux Q actually. Now that chat is saying it. I don't know, man. It's not an ADC. What would I know? Oh, Mark, not like this.
Oh, and Mark does get caught out. The hook is enough, and he's going to fall to Davis. And as well, Judgy is going to fall in return. And Manhattan Project finding another foothold into this game. Courtesy of the Believix spot lane. But I will find out for myself now, because I'm actually very curious. But regardless, a Baron, actually, I think, if it goes through, but they are going to contest it. They are going to look for it. God, Yuna just sitting on the outside of this fight. He's so strong. The Cataclysm comes in straight on top of the Baron. The Galio ult on top of everything. And Jarvan is the first to fall, but Yuna is free stacking passive at the fight, but he's going to be left all on his own. And it is a disaster for Believix. It's a massacre in the Baron pit. And Manhattan Project, along with this Baron, pick up the final 3 members after catching out the Believix bot lane. And that is 5 kills and a Baron. And I have got confirmation from Blanc, my boy, that Cosmic Binding is in fact hard Q. Light Binding is Lux Q. There you go. This guy knows. It's Flux Prison for Rise that I was thinking of when I said prison.
Flux Prison?
Flux Prison, not Lux Prison.
Isn't it Rune Prison?
Oh, you
Flux
just checked?
is the E? Isn't Flux is Rise E, right? I think the W.
Yeah,
It's
and
not
the
called
B's called...
Flux.
I'm almost sure, like I know ability names. Bro, I'm the one that's meant to know ability names and I don't.
Blanc, what is Rise W called? I'm pretty sure it's
I
just
have it
Rune
here.
Prison.
Rune Prison,
Yeah.
Prison, not Flux Prison. You could have just said that.
I
you knew
said
what it
that
was.
and you said no.
E is spell Flux, there you go. Gardevoir having a little laugh about that Dark Binding.
I mean, there's not much else you can do
and
when a Morgana Q hits you. I mean, you got to put some kind of input before you get the AFK
Oh
warning.
no, the blades do not land. And the movement speed's slow as well. One more Devil Luke. I don't know how many times he's gotten away with murder in this game, honestly. Gardevoir, the Hex Flash hook over the wall. So close to landing. This is the thing with Darius, right? He can get really fed, and in some games, he still just doesn't feel that strong, you know? Like, it feels like since that Quadra, he's kind of... He had a double as well, but he's not really... It doesn't feel like he's able to do much about these fights, you know? Especially when the Maokai is so tanky. Like, I feel like the Maokai is like just as effective being 1 in 10 as the Darius
I
is being
think
10 in 1.
there's... I mean, tanks are broken, but I think part of that could be down to the Darius items here. So he went the Stride Breaker,
Yeah, he
and then
doesn't
he
know
went
damage.
Force of Nature,
Yeah.
which is, you know, somewhat expected. Most of the damage that was coming out was the magic damage from Maokai, Galio, and the Diana at the time. But now he's gone for a Dead Man's Plate. And there's just no extra damage in that build.
Yeah. The Flawless Duet. Not going to land on this free TP from Momo Devluke. And you can see with the LDR, judging his damage starting to pick up eventually. He is going to get caught out by the Flawless Duet this time, but nothing more going to come for it. Manhattan Project looking for something at the bottom of this fight. Believix looking for an engage here. And the Dark Binding does land onto Gardevoir, and he is going to be the first to fall. No, he's going to survive, but Jenna Primer is on his own at the very back, and he's going to fall straight away. The ult on top of Gardevoir is enough to take him out. The Moonfall comes out as well, and Gardevoir is also already dead. Excuse me, Tackle Ground and the Cataclysm onto Damage. Damage is free hitting at the back of the fight, but Jenna is just so fast, and it's another bonk. And was that a penta? It was. I spoke too soon about this man.
Clearly, we know nothing about items in
We
League of
don't
Legends.
know nothing. We know nothing.
The Dead Man's Plate pickup was all he needed for a pentakill.
And that fight was an absolute disaster, by the way. I actually apologize for that. My brain is so dysfunctional.
It's fine, man. I think Davis in that fight could potentially had more faith in his team to hold the line and keep the Morgana locked up and ult just a bit sooner rather than the insta stopwatch. But I mean, I can respect it.
And watched the stream and heard what we were saying and decided Yeah, no, I'm actually just gonna kill everybody. What I believe is the second pentakill of the season. So, congrats to Jenna, I guess. This game, I'm actually really enjoying this game. A lot more than the last one.
Yeah,
This one is a
I'm
lot more
struggling to
back and
find
forth.
words. I'm just stuck. Just I find
Yeah,
myself
like
just
every
watching, trying
fight
to
feels
see
like
what's
it just
happening.
feels
And
like there's just fights going either way, back to back.
yeah, and the gold is still like very close.
Yeah.
Kagili, stop exposing me. Thank you.
Granny Spanner is a fraud.
So for those watching along at home, I'm currently sat with one cat laid across the back of my shoulders, asleep, and another cat who is sat on my chest with her top half on my desk, also asleep. It's
Yeah, I
very
heard
cute, but very uncomfortable at the same time.
Outlaw had his Meowkai slippers on to play this game. And he has now recently updated us saying footwear is made to run it. So that's his take on the situation at
Those
hand.
are his running slippers,
Running slippers.
just like Yumi had. Okay, Darius has now
Oh
picked up
yeah.
a
A
Death
DD,
Dance.
finally! He has an AD item.
So now he will never
Rejoice.
die.
Both teams kind of just waiting for objectives, really, to do anything. Neither team trying to flip it too much. There is a
Yeah,
Baron up, but
I
neither team
think
have a
both
clear
teams
go
are
at
just
it.
a bit cautious about committing too hard on a play.
I mean, I feel like a bad play for either team can just loosen the game. The Flag Drug is available for Duke of Jamming. Gardevoir does dodge away from it along with the flash, but the Flawless Duet is going to catch him out, and the Blades are enough to finish him off. The kill going to Techno Gremlin, and it is a full send fight. A huge bullet time coming out. The Moonfall coming out as well. Judda the Bup fills up and gets another kill on the backline. And he is just so strong. There is so much healing, so much damage. It is a third kill, and hopefully in the end, a fourth kill for Judda the Bup. And he is just going to run it straight into the Manhattan Project's base
And
send
will be
them
the end of the game.
into the lower bracket. I must say, we were so wrong about everything we said about Yuna this stream. He heard us. He heard everything. Do you remember we said he was getting gapped by gold players? He heard that too.
Well, well, well.